Hello from Manhattan Public Library. I'm Miss Laura, and I'm so happy to welcome you to another Zoofari Tale Storytime online. It's going to be really fun this month, as always. So we're going to start with an opening song, and then I'll have you guess what animal we might have a story about today. I think you might be able to guess, because you're pretty smart. So the first part of our song that we usually do is acting like a really big animal that has very large ears and a very long nose. I bet you know what it might be. Let me get my friend out. It is my elephant friend. That's right. Yes, she has lovely floppy ears. So maybe we can act like elephants. Maybe we can stomp around and trumpet like an elephant. You want to try it? Ready? Here we go. Okay. If you're an elephant and you know it, stomp around. If you're an elephant and you know it, stomp around. If you're an elephant and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're an elephant and you know it, stomp around. Nice stomping. All right. So my next animal is another large-sized animal, but it has a lot of fur on its body, and it likes to hunt, especially the female part of this particular species, and it also likes to say a really loud sound. It's like a roar. What do you think it might be? Let me get my other friend out. I bet you might know. This one is my lion friend. That's right. Roar. Oh, maybe this time we can roar like a lion and show our claws. You want to try it? Okay, here we go. If you're a lion and you know it, give a roar. Roar. If you're a lion and you know it, give a roar. Roar! If you're a lion and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're a lion and you know it, give a roar. Roar! Nice roaring! Okay, so my final animal, maybe you can guess what it might be, we'll have a story about, and it is not an animal with 4 legs like an elephant or lion. It does not have fur on its body like a lion. It does not have a long nose like an elephant or very large ears like an elephant. It actually doesn't have any arms or legs at all on its body. But it gets around really fast, even though it doesn't have those things. And it makes a very interesting noise too, that not many other animals make. And it sounds like this. Do you know what it might be? I think you might guess. You want to try? Let me get my friend out here. Aha! It is my snake friend. That's right. And you like to say what? Yes, that's right. And it likes to put its tongue out and in. That's how it smells the air. Yeah. Hello, snake. How are you? So maybe to be like a snake, maybe we can slither around. You want to try it? You can try to go on the floor or the ground to slither. I don't think I will, but I might slither my body all around standing up, okay? You ready? You want to try it? Okay, here we go. If you're a snake and you know it, slither around. If you're a snake and you know it, slither around. If you're a snake and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're a snake and you know it, slither around. Hiss. Nice job! Did they do a good job? Did I? Oh, thanks, snake. All right. Today's story is called The Snake Who Said Shh by Jody Perricini, and the pictures were illustrated by Gil McLean. Now remember, we were acting like snakes earlier, and typically snakes say hiss, right? right? Shh, might be a little different. We'll have to see what happens. Ready? Here we go. The jungle was filled with noise on the day Seth was born. Elephants trumpeted, chimpanzees chattered, ew, ew, and parrots squawked, quack, quack, quack. And these birds down here said, chiki, and that little mouse said, squeak. Seth slithered out of his leafy hole in the ground. He stared wide-eyed at the trees and loud animals around him. He's a little baby snake. Mom nudged Seth's slippery body. Go on, she said. Say something. Seth slurped the air with his tongue. Then he let out a big shh. That's different. What did he say? What? The parrot squawked. You're supposed to say hiss, growled a grumpy leopard. Who ever heard of a snake with a lisp? Cackled the chimpanzees. Seth blushed. He was embarrassed. Sort of hurt his feelings when they said that. Don't listen to them, son, Mom said. I think you sound beautiful. Seth tried again. Shh, he said. The baboons fell over with laughter. Seth slithered sadly back into his hole. Poor Seth. The jungle burst into a chorus of hoots and howls. Enough, the leopard roared. We must choose a gift for the new baby. How about a toothbrush for his fangs? Suggested a crocodile. No, the leopard said. An owl feather for his bed. That's the present we always give to a new baby snake. But I'm old, hoo-hoo, the owl hooted from his perch. I have no spare feathers to give. A fresh leafy branch would be perfect for his nest, said the young bongo. Leaves are boring, the chimpanzees complained. Let's catch him a nice tasty mouse. What? Squeaked the dormouse. Let's throw a party instead. He can slither and dance and... Snakes can't dance, called the sunbird. I bet snakes can dance. What do you think? In their own way. The animals roared and squawked and chirped and argued, each yelling louder than the next. Arr, snap, snap, arr, arr, ee-oo, chiki, screech, squawk. They were so busy squabbling that they didn't notice the little snake was sliding out of his hole. As he watched the fuss, Seth grew sadder and sadder. He was a sad snake. At last, he'd had enough. Seth lifted his head as high as he could and shouted, shh! Well, that's a loud shush, huh? The jungle fell silent, huh? Everyone stopped talking, and they all hid behind the leaves in the jungle. Maybe all he wants is some quiet, whispered the dormouse. The animals looked at each other and shrugged. No one spoke. Then they stared at Seth. What do you think? Do you think Seth just wanted a little quiet instead of all the noise? Seth licked the air. Then he snuggled up with his mom and smiled. Happy birthday, Seth, the animals whispered. Finally, the jungle was peaceful and still. None of the animals were squawking or making all sorts of sounds. And Seth was a pretty happy snake, huh? And that was the end. Oh, thank you for listening to my story. Maybe you're like Seth, and sometimes you like it when there's some quiet, and maybe sometimes people and animals are really too loud, and it gets to be too much, and you need to take a break. And that's okay. That's a good thing. Just like our friend Seth the snake. Let's do a rhyme called 4 Silly Snakes. I'm going to put them up here on the flannel board, and maybe you can help me count, and then also tell me what color my snakes are. Think you can do that? Okay, so let me start out with my first snake friend. Here we go. 1 silly snake with nothing to do called for a friend. Hiss. And then there were, how many? 1, 2. That's right. This one needs to wiggle around a little bit more. There we go. Now this first snake, what color is this one? Can you tell? It's yellow. And this snake is purple. That's right. Okay, we have 2 silly snakes, right? Okay. Maybe you can help me hiss this time. You ready? 2 silly snakes, fast as can be. They called for a friend. Hiss, hiss. And then there were 3. That's right. 1, 2, 3 snakes. And this snake is green. All right. So now we've got 3 silly snakes. You ready? 3 silly snakes slithering by the door. They called for a friend. Hiss, hiss, hiss. And then there were 4. That's right. Oh, and that snake is pink. Beautiful. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 silly snakes. Okay. This is the last part. You ready? 4 silly snakes, tired of all the fun, said, it's time for a nap. Hiss, 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 hiss. And then there were none. Night-night, snakes. Have a good nap. Oh, thanks for counting with me and telling me about the colors of the snakes. That was great.